there's magic, there's joy. When you think of little children, there's joy, there's openness, because you can't be creative and not be open. It's not a narrow path. It's an open path.
So many of us grew up with trauma and different experiences, and now there's this wave of consciousness that's coming through and allowing people to be more responsible for their own emotions and step into their creativity and really be an example to like a whole new generation of loving, like openness.
One has to make a decision about what they're going to be present for in their life. All of us have traumas and issues and crises. That's part of your life, but it doesn't have to be your whole life.
I think so many of us are scared to stand out or to be the loud one or to be different because we want to be accepted by our community.
You see children in Mexico where they're living in a substandard lifestyle. Why are they so happy? How can they be so happy? Happiness is a choice.
It's almost like because they have less, there's more presence and more gratitude for what they do have, and they're in so much joy.
Welcome back to another episode on Fully Express. We're so excited because this episode is so special and so heart forward and inspiring.
Today, we had the absolute privilege to speak with children's author, Randi Woodward Larsen. She wrote the most beautiful book called Moonlight and Wishes, which weaves together a whimsical tale that sparks curiosity and wonder. At its core, it is about hope, imagination, and the unbreakable spirit of children. And in this conversation, you really learned that that is at the core and heart of Randi.
She literally is the epiphany of joy and magic. And if you are looking for an inspiration, you're going to want to listen to this episode because what's so beautiful about Randi is that she kind of reached her goals later in life. So she became a mom at 48, thinking that she was never going to be a mom. And then she also published her book in her 70s, which is just like so cool to see her really living out her dreams throughout this lifetime.
This conversation is inspiring, it's emotional, it's just downright beautiful, and she is such a wealth of wisdom. We hope that you love this episode as much as we did. Enjoy.
Hi, Randi. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm so excited to be here with both of you. You're such beautiful women. I'm honored to be here.
I knew the first day that I met you that you were going to be on the show. I'm not going to lie, because we met at EOB, which is the Energetics of Business, and your heart was just so full and so expressive. And I was like, I loved that you were in the room with us, with everyone else that was there. And I was like, I just felt so drawn to you. And then I went home and I told Samantha, and I was like,
yeah, she called me. She's like, I met the most amazing woman.
We got to invite her on the show. She needs to be on here. So this is so, so special that you're here today.
I am just beyond honored. I love your podcast. I've watched several. And when you reached out to me in our little group setting, the way that you were with me just made me feel like I was seen.
Mm-hmm. So good. What do you want to say?
I was just going to say, like, why don't we give listeners a little bit of background on you?
Okay.
Because obviously we have your beautiful book here called Moonlight and Wishes that you wrote. But I know people would love to know what brought you to this point. Where did your life start? What was your journey like?
Well, I'm really an accidental author. I love writing, but I never ever expected to be published. And this story started out before my daughter was born. And I kind of do things late in life. Maddie came on the scene when I was 47. So I had her when I was 48. And she's turning 31 on Tuesday.
That's incredible.
Which is amazing. And not ever believing I'd ever be a mom. And my then husband looked into adopting, and the lawyer said, nobody's going to pick you. He already had 3 children, and I was older than dirt as far as they were concerned. So no young mom's going to pick you. So there you go. And so I never thought I would ever have children, and I wanted to be close to children. So by accident, I ended up going to San Diego College for this little seminar on storytelling. And I drove down from Orange County and I thought, well, this is going to be fun. This is like how to lie around the campfire when you're eating your s'mores, you know? And the lady taught an Native American sort of spiritual story.
Mm.
And it touched my heart so deeply. And about 2 weeks later, I was in a meeting, and the lady from the Orange County Register was there. And all the women there were in business. I was representing Pacific Corral. And we all just kind of stood up and said what we did. And I don't know what motivated me, but I stood up and said, well, I'm a professional storyteller. And she came after the meeting and said, we have this big fair going on, and we've got a tent all lined up, and we don't have a storyteller. Would you do it? And I said, yes. Now, background, Disneyland tour guide in my 20s. Being with children is just an incredible joy, and being able to share the magic, the inspiration, the insight through fairy tales, folk tales, myths, and legends. I just decided, heck yes, I'm doing this. So, and I actually ended up teaching storytelling at Saddleback Community College. And I always told my students, which were firefighters, new grandparents, teachers, etc., your story picks you. Grab the books, multiple fairy tales, folk tales, whatever, and see what story touches your heart. And that's the story that wants to be told in your voice. So this story landed in my heart in my 40s. Not entirely. It kind of came in piece by piece. And I just started writing. It's as a little girl, my grandfather had a ranch in Mecca, California, which is below Indio. And back in the day, in the 1950s, when you went into the town, they still had the I can't think of what they're called, the posts that you tie your reins up on for your horse. They still had those there. And my brothers and I used to like to go out on the grass at night, lie down, look at the stars, and wish upon a star. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. And there was something magical, the hope that brings as a 8-year-old, as a child. It's really profound. And that starts off Moonlight and Wishes is that wish that Joey makes, wanting a friend because he's moved from the city out into the mountains and he doesn't have any friends. And all little kids want friends. So, yeah.
Wow, so beautiful. Like you just captured us just with your storytelling.
I know.
Which is so beautiful. I wanted to ask, so the creative process of writing your book, you said it came to in your 40s. Like what was the journey to like writing it, to publishing it? How did it come through you?
I ran across Miriam Laundrie's children's picture book class in December of 2023. And I thought, oh my gosh, I could put all these puzzles together now and create this story because it was being taught. And so I signed up and I took the class. And then she has a children's book masterclass that you sign up, and that's where her team actually helps you edit your story, put it together. You have a coach that works with you along the way, and they publish it with you.
Oh,
They do the
wow.
publishing, but not until you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I love collaboration. That's really a big part of who I am. And it takes a village, because there are times when you're like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming. It's so over my head. And they came right alongside me and said, no, Randi, you've got this. We've got you. We're going to make this happen.
I love that, because I think it's so easy when you're pursuing a dream or desire to think, one, to give up because you don't know how to move forward in it. And also, I think there's a part of us that's like, I can just do it all. I can do it all myself. And so it takes bravery, I think, to ask for help and to trust other people to like bring you on that journey.
I 100% agree with you. Bravery, and also I think what drove me was the desire to share this story with children, to bring it to give it birth, to bring it to life. And Miriam and her team were just amazing at that. And speaking of vulnerability, you turn your masterpiece that you've edited, a gazillion times, over to the professional editor, and you get 3 edits. The first edit sort of is conceptual, and they go through. Sharon Jennings was my editor. They have 2 great editors at Miriam Laundries. So she went through it, and when I got it back, and my coach said, don't get your feelings hurt. Nobody ever gets 100%. She's going to suggest changes, but it is your voice. So if you disagree,
stand your ground.
Yeah. So there were a couple of things that she put in there that I thought, oh, she's criticizing me, which of course was me criticizing me, right? It wasn't her. And so I took her suggestions and I tweaked them a little bit to keep it in my voice. And here we are.
It's amazing.
Here we are.
Yeah.
I am a #1 best-selling, award-winning author.
How does that feel to say that?
To be honest, I have a hard time accepting it. It's like, that sounds so, I don't know, elevated. It sounds so big, and I'm not big. It's like, wait, what? Yeah.
I was going to ask a question about that's really beautiful. I'm so curious because I think we have people in our community that want to be authors and they want to be writers, or they want to create or start the business, whatever that looks like, so they could live their fullest express life. I would love to know, like, did you ever like second guess or like hesitate before you moved forward with writing the book? And like, what was that process? And then how did you get yourself to complete the book?
So, to be honest, I never expected to get published.
Oh, okay. So tell me about that.
I didn't drive it forward. I was totally in the creative process. Another career that I've had my entire life is interior design. So being artistic is something I love. I'm a classical singer. I've sang with Pacific Chorale for 44 years, and now I sing up at Christ Cathedral. I've been singing there for 10 years, and there's such joy in that creativity, going back to tour guiding, meeting Walt Disney. I mean, I was with families that saved for years to bring their children to Disneyland, and I had the honor to take them through the park. It was incredibly touching, and the magic that was there, to see it come alive in the hearts and the eyes of children and parents, was just such a gift to be able to do that. And that was when I stepped forward across the line and said, all right, I'm going to publish it. That was my hope. That is my dream. That people will find the magic, the creativity, and the belief in themselves and what they dream,
Mm.
to put it out there.
Mm. It sounds like you really, like you held the vision of creating magic.
I love that you say that. I Yeah, because where there's magic, there's joy. When you
Mm.
think of little
Mhm.
children,
Mhm.
there's joy. There's openness
Mm.
because you can't be creative and not be open.
Mhm.
It's not a narrow path.
Mhm.
It's an open path. What's the universe bringing you? And then it brings you this precious gift. Now, what are you going to do with it? What are you being asked to do with it? What is your calling
Mm.
referencing this gift?
Mm.
And that's all in the creative process. And another thing that speaks to me about this is today with AI. Well, I mean, technology's here; it's not going anywhere.
Mhm.
It's like the car versus the horse and buggy. We're here.
Yeah.
But at this point, AI can only speak to what humanity knows.
Mm.
It, at this point,
Mhm.
can't create something. Only human beings can do that. So to empower a child to open themselves to creativity and hope and belief and inspiration, that's my hope. That's my hope.
Mm.
I love that so much. I was just talking to my husband today about imagine being able to be the parent of a child and help them to evolve with the belief that they can truly achieve everything without putting limitations on them, with really like honing their self-worth. Because I feel so many of us grew up with trauma and different experiences, and now there's this wave of consciousness that's coming through and allowing people to be more responsible for their own emotions and step into their creativity and really be an example to like a whole new generation of loving, like openness. And yeah, it's just so beautiful to see someone as yourself, like in the later years of life, really like still finding joy and magic, really finding purpose. And I think that's such a beautiful gift and message.
When I turned 70, I'd been single for, let's see, 10 years, maybe. And I thought my life was over.
Mm.
And my boyfriend at the time, my fiance now, we're getting
Mhm.
married March 21st.
Yeah, she is. So fun to say.
I love it.
Yes. Um, I had always told him that one of my bucket list things was to go skydiving. And so on my 70th birthday, we had a lovely party the night before. And then he said, "Well, I'm taking you for a surprise." I said, "Okay, I like surprises."
Mm.
So we're driving out to Hemet, and I said, "Where are we going?" He said, "Well, we're going indoor skydiving." So he called my bluff. I mean, at that point, I'm like, "Oh, wait, let's think about this." But, there's no way I could say that to him. It's
Right.
like, "Girlfriend, you're on it."
Yeah.
So we go there, we get all suited up. They have four 200, let's see, what is it, 250 horsepower engines in the ceiling of this big cylinder. So like 1,000. Yeah. And they tell you no goalposts, because if you do goalposts, then you're like a bug on the wall. You
Yeah.
go bang.
Oh no.
Yeah. So you can't do that.
Uh-huh.
You can do this.
Mm.
Yeah, Superman. You can be Superman.
Yeah.
So we both did it. And before we went out, I asked the guide, "So seriously, what's the difference between this and being up in the air?" And he said, "Honestly, the only difference is it's wetter
Mm.
up
There's more
there,
moisture. Yeah.
but the feeling is identical." It was so incredible. It's like my whole headset got rearranged. And I told myself, these are my goals going forward for as long as I live. I want to become more childlike, not childish, but be in that awe and wonder place. Enjoy the dew on the roses. And feed the birds. And that, walk in nature, walk on the seashore, watch the light on the waves. Be in that space. And the other thing is to grow more wise. Not necessarily smarter, but just wise. So that's been my driving forces, if you will. And then this came along a year and a half ago, and here we are.
Can I ask a question as to how do you access so much joy? Even like knowing you, you're always smiling, you're so bright. Like, how do you access so much joy?
You know, I've actually asked myself that question because this is apparently Randi from the get-go, because I had people in my younger years say to me that, well, you're just always happy all the time, so that's pretty fake. It's like, no, it's really not. I think one has to make a decision about what they're going to be present for in their life. You certainly, all of us, have traumas and issues and crises. Everybody does. So there you are. That's part of your life. But it doesn't have to be your whole life if you don't let it. I used to ask myself, seriously, I did. You see children in Mexico where they're living in a substandard lifestyle. Why are they so happy? How can they be so happy? Happiness is a choice. And nobody can make you happy.
I thought the same thing when I went to the Bahamas, and we were welcomed by people in a golf cart, and I'm like, is this like fake? Is this for the resort? Because they were just so joyful. But then we toured the island, like we talked to the locals. And I mean, these people are living with no windows. I mean, they're still waiting 5 years for windows on their homes. And these kids are laughing and screaming and playing outside. And it's almost like because they have less, there's more presence and more gratitude for what they do have. And they're in so much joy. And that was really eye-opening for me to just find, as you're saying, like the gratitude in every day and realizing like it's a choice.
When I went through my divorce, I purposely brought gratitude to the front of my heart, my mind, my feelings. And it was a journey initially. It was really hard. And today, there are days when it's hard. But for the most part, a grateful heart is a happy heart.
This is so good. I know it's kind of the way that you speak just is so captivating that I'm like sometimes stuck in your words. I just reflect that back as like such a beautiful compliment. But gratitude is something that everyone strives for, but it's hard for it to land in their system. And I think we all ultimately want to show up happy and be grateful for what we have in that. So I would love to know right now, like, what are you the most grateful for in your life?
My fiance, the man I'm going to marry.
What about him?
He's, the kind of, well, this is going way back. Probably your audience is a lot younger than this, but the kind of characters that Jimmy Stewart played as an actor, all American, loyal, honest, tender, caring, funny. We laugh. I mean, you get old, you forget where your glasses are, and they're right here. You make a pot of coffee and forget to turn it on. I mean, you don't lose your sense of humor when you get older, because if you do, that's a sinker. So don't want any sinkers. And we just care for each other tenderly. And I've never had that in my life from a man.
Beautiful.
And I'm really looking forward to being his wife and serving him and being served by him until death do us part. And you know, you get married at our age, 79 and 81. That's just right around the corner. I mean, that's that's a serious deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my daughter. She has been the joy of my she was my greatest dream, my greatest wish. And how many women do you know that have had menopausal premenopausal?
We were 47 or 48.
I delivered at 48, but I got pregnant at 47.
So my husband's mom also had a baby at 48, 49.
Okay.
But it's very rare.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you about that because, well, two things. I mean, that's incredible. And that, you know, that's probably a point where women would give up or, like you said, think you're never going to have a child. But I'm also curious because it kind of sounds, I mean, the book came in your 70s. Like it's almost like life has guided you. And right when you think it's not going to happen, boom, a magic happens.
Magic, a miracle.
Yeah. So I'm just so curious, like, how does that feel for you? And, you know, how has that guided you through life? Because you're someone who clearly has believed in magic from day one. And here you are now just cultivating more magic. But it's really like in divine timing versus standard timing that we as women expect things to happen. And I think there's a beautiful message in that because I think women give up and they lose hope and they lose the magic.
You all for me, I work hard. I'm not 100% can do this, but I work hard for finding and seeking the good of God in my life. And that comes about in miracles and surprises sometimes. It does. And it's beautiful and it's a thank you, God. And yeah, the other thing I'm most grateful for in my life is my music. I sang my first solo as an 8-year-old in the Christmas play. My mother's side of the family are all musical. My grandfather was part of a barbershop quartet, and they won the regional championships and all of that kind of thing. And we used to, as children, we go to my grandmother's and grandfather's for Christmas, and everybody sang, and I loved it. So it wasn't unusual for me. It was family as a little kid to sing. And I went to USC School of Music. I actually didn't qualify to get into the music school because I didn't have a educational background in it. But I sung the lead in this and the lead in that and choral music, which I adore. So I went into USC as a Spanish major. And then after my first semester, I auditioned for the School of Music. And Julie Andrews' voice coach took me on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
incredible.
amazing.
It was amazing. And then I met her a few years later, Julie Andrews.
Wow.
Yes. I was going up in the elevator with her in a doctor's office.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you say we have the same voice coach?
I didn't think about it. I was too
starstruck.
yeah, I'm in the elevator with Julie Andrews.
Yeah. You're like, the hills are alive.
I mean, I did say hi kind of very awkwardly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so music has been just an incredible gift. It's been therapy. Musicians, in my experience, singers are wonderful people just at heart. Um, I've I've had the gift of traveling the world singing, and it's just a huge blessing. And still at 79, I still get to sing.
Yeah.
Yay! And I'm still taking lessons. I'm still working with a vocal coach. Your vocal cords are like any other muscle. You keep it healthy.
Yeah, you got to work out at it
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
That was really beautiful. My other question I had is like, how has it been bringing Moonlight and Wishes out to the world? So now you've published it. Like, how is it like sharing it? Because I know you've been going to different schools and reading your book. Like, have you, yeah, I'm so curious, like, how has been the journey to getting it out there, you know?
It's scary.
Mm.
We all have different motivations, and I am the kind of person that's motivated to help somebody else.
Mm.
So if I had to go to a school for one of your books, man, I'd be all over that, like a white on rice. But doing it for myself, I have to take me out of the equation.
Mhm.
This is not for me. This is for this story and its impact on families.
Mm.
One of the really fun things before I talk about the school visits, a girlfriend of mine who's actually older than I, she's in her 90s, when the book was published, bought one for a young family that she knew, and they had a 6-year-old son. And she gave it to the mom, and she said thank you, and they called Jan on the phone and said, we really appreciate the book, but our son, just leave everybody's names out. Our son, all he really wants is a puppy, and that's for our lifestyle right now. We just can't really do that. So we're going to save it and read it when it works. So then Jan gets a phone call. Oh my gosh, we read the book all the way through and decided to get a puppy. So they got a puppy. They hid it in a room, read the book to their son, and then brought the puppy out.
Oh my God.
That's the greatest gift.
And the puppy and this little boy are inseparable.
Oh.
That just brings me so much joy. And then another girlfriend is a new grandma. She has an 18-month-old. And so she bought the book and she reads it to him. And she said, even as a toddler, she goes in and he goes, Jojo, 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 Jojo. So she reads it to him again and she puts it back, Jojo, Jojo.
Oh.
He just wants
I
the
love
book.
it.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
but
amazing.
that just fills my heart, right?
Yeah.
It means it's making an impact. School reads. Well, that's amazing. Sharing one experience I had in the school library, I put together a slideshow. My daughter actually, who is in public relations, she put my slideshow together. I'm not a big techie person. She is. So put it together, and this library has beautiful big screen. So there it goes, and I'm reading it. And when I finished, I asked the children to pick an animal, any animal that they wanted. It could be a magical fairy tale animal, or it could be a real live on the earth animal. And I wanted them to share the color of its eyes and its fur or scales or skin and what its magic power was. So one little boy imagined a dragon. And this dragon had a magic power. And the magic power was he would protect all the children. That was his job, was protector. One little girl shared that her magical animal was a golden retriever. It had blue eyes. And its magical power was if you made a wish out loud in front of it, your wish would instantly come true.
So cute. I love that.
And it's so joyful to be able to have brought that kind of experience into people's lives. Plus, a big joy for me going to book fairs and that kind of thing. You bring a lot of stuff with you when you do that. My Tom, my fiance, and my daughter Maddie has been able to come with me. So, I'm not all by myself. I'm surrounded by loved ones, and it's just a happy experience.
Oh my gosh, you're creating so much magic in these kids' lives. What I love so much is that you're also like inspiring people to lean into their creativity. Sometimes, I mean, you might relate to like just the ability for people to say like your creativity is not going to create success, right? Like I think a lot in our world today, there's like the parents or just people that think like, oh, I got to be the lawyer, I got to be a doctor, or that's the way that they're going to express themselves because they want to feel safe with success. And the other thing that's so beautiful in the way that you speak and the way that you're impacting these kids, it's a reminder that they can imagine and that they can be creative and create worlds that is so beautiful. And then you, following your creativity, came to this beautiful book that you've written, and now you're sharing that with the world.
Thank you. It's story. I was meeting Tom for dinner, and he was already at the table and he was upstairs. So I came up the stairs and I'm walking down the hallway, but it's open so I could see down below me. And below me was a table with 10 people, grandparents, parents, kids, teenager. I mean, the whole family was there, right? All on their cell phones. And I stopped. And I just watched and I thought, oh, surely somebody's going to start a conversation, right? I mean, how do you connect if you don't share with each other? And finally, I felt like it was rude to keep Tom waiting. They didn't. They never came off it.
Wow.
So I went back and sat down. And I thought, another thing that this offers is an opportunity for parents to take their little ones out into the night sky, to watch the moon grow, wax, and then wane. Because there's a little astronomy in the story that's in the book, and know that the wishes are going into the land where all things are possible. And that's where our creativity and our imagination lives.
So good. I know. This whole conversation's making me emotional. Like, it just brings back, I mean, I grew up going to the library and reading books with my grandmother. My grandmother really raised me, and that's such a bond that we shared. And there's so much magic in reading. Like, you get to create the world, and even though you're providing the details, it's like you get to use your imagination. And I think to what you're saying is like you're able to cultivate moments of presence for parents and their kids. And that's so powerful. I feel so grateful that my grandmother gave me that, because reading really opened my mind that so much more was possible. And I think that is so beautiful that that's what you're providing. It's such a gift.
Thank you. I read to Maddie when she was like this. I was like this. And to this day, she's an avid reader. She likes I read on my iPhone because I've got to make the print
Text
a little
bigger.
bigger. but she's a book and what is it? Book and mortar. What is no?
Brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar girl.
Yeah. She likes the paper. She wants to turn the page.
Absolutely.
I feel that. I'm the same way. I love a good book. I love the smell. I love turning the
She
page.
does too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very nostalgic.
Yeah. Very.
What would you go back and tell your younger self if you could tell her something?
No.
Maybe I'm curious actually, maybe your younger self, and then maybe your young mother self.
Well, I wasn't such a young mother, but okay.
Well, younger
I know,
mother. You know what I'm saying.
Totally.
Yeah.
I totally
A new mom self is what I mean. Like,
there you go.
Yeah.
I think I would say to Randi as a young woman to trust in who you are, to be authentic. It's not necessarily in your best interest to always be a people pleaser, and I grew up that way. I grew up either being too much or not enough.
Mm.
And that's an interesting dichotomy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was gifted as a little kid. I was talented.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the choice in high school because I wanted to have friends
Mm-hmm.
that I was just going to kind of dull myself down and fit in, as opposed to inspiring people. Wow, if Randi can do it, maybe I can do it kind of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't come on till later, but people have said to me, you are really inspiring. I'm like, really? Okay, thank you. Um, so I think I would encourage Randi to at early 20s to really step into who I am, own it,
Mm-hmm.
bless it, love it, walk it, and be present for all that God brings you. I've always been attracted to beauty. I also paint flowers and wilderness and rivers and waterfalls and that kind. I'm really a sort of a mountain pine tree kind of girl. Inside.
A Bob Ross, a female Bob Ross. He always loved the mountains and the rivers.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that being authentic was something I was afraid to be.
Mm.
And I really didn't 100% step into that until after I got divorced from Maddie's dad.
Mm.
And Tom came on the scene. So I'd never had the support just to be who I am, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the scaredy cat, whatever. And there's so much life energy in you have to create it yourself, but having someone come alongside you, say, yeah, I take you just the way you are. It's all good.
I feel that way too. I'm like, gosh, this is so emotional. I'm like, I think one, that's the whole reason for Fully Express is like inviting women into their most authentic lives. And I think so many of us are scared to stand out or to be different or to be the loud one or to be different because we want to be accepted by our community. And it's so beautiful to hear, or at least give me the reminder to like be bolder in my authenticity and in being me. And then also trusting that life will meet me in that no matter where we go.
Absolutely.
And that's the journey of Aquarius, actually, is it's the opposite of Leo. And Leo and Aquarius want to be loved and they want to fit in. But Aquarius's lesson is the only way to fit in is to stand out, is to be authentic. And until they stop compromising and they just be their quirky, out there self, they can't fit in. It's so ironic. And here you are. So now you're embracing. You've reached the destination of the Aquarian lesson, which is just being authentically you.
Yeah.
And everyone is drawn to you. Your energy is so magnetic.
Aw. So magnetic.
Thank you.
We're all just going to leave here crying.
That's the best conversations.
Yeah. Okay, so what about as a new mom? What would you have told yourself? Because, you did have a child later in life with, I would assume, more wisdom, more experience. And yet here you are even further.
When I got pregnant, I couldn't believe it.
Were you in shock?
Yes. It had been my dream forever. And I just figured it wasn't God's plan for my life.
Mm.
And I wanted to walk God's plan for my life. That came on later in life, but it was really important to me because I knew what God would have in store for me would be better than anything I could imagine for myself. Because we limit ourselves. Our human brain goes, oh, you can't do that,
Yeah.
you know? So I read, my parents were wonderful parents. Nobody as a parent is perfect. Nobody.
Mhm.
And there were things that I knew I didn't want to do with my daughter. So I read a lot of parenting books.
Mm.
She and I had a conversation a couple of years ago. One of the things I did, instead of corporal punishment, which I was raised with,
Mm.
when she would have her little tantrums or get upset, I'd put her in a chair and I'd put her in the corner of the room, facing the corner. And there can't be a painting on the wall or anything for her, just dead space. And my idea was for her to get in control of herself, to eliminate stimulation.
Mm.
And if she's a 2-year-old, she stays there 2 minutes. She's an 8-year-old, she stays there 8 minutes. You don't put a 2-year-old there and say you sit there for 8 minutes. I mean,
Yeah, good
obviously
luck.
that's not going to work. And so we had this conversation not terribly long ago, and she's, what was with the chair in the corner, Mom? I mean, that was really a punishment. And I said, no, it really wasn't. It was really about empowering you to make a decision to calm down, learn the tools within yourself to do that,
Mm.
as opposed to an authoritarian saying, you, boo, boo,
Yeah.
No, I didn't want to be that person.
Mhm.
Mm.
I wanted to teach her how to navigate her own control system. And she just went, wow.
I didn't realize that's what you were doing.
Did she receive it differently when you explained it that way?
Totally.
Yeah.
She saw it through a totally different lens.
Mm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's so beautiful that you had that intention for your daughter, the
Mhm.
intention for her to be able to navigate her inner world.
Mhm.
And like your thoughts on, well, I'm not going to control her or tell her what to do. So how can I give her the tool to figure out what that is for herself?
Mhm.
One of our other most dramatic moments was she wasn't, let's see, she was a new driver and she was going to a high school party and she wanted to pick her girlfriend up. And I said, yeah, no, just go by yourself. Will you commit to that? She said, yeah. So I go to her girlfriend's house to have a glass of wine, just hang out with the adults. And I asked the mom, you dropped your daughter off at the park? She said, no, Maddie picked her up.
Mm.
I'm like, what? Okay. I said, I gave Maddie strict instructions and she gave me her word. She would not do that.
Mm.
I said, you're going to have to pick your daughter up and I'm going to call mine. Well, Maddie didn't pick up, but so then I called her girlfriend. She picked up.
Mhm.
I said, you tell Maddie she's not to drive you home and to please come home now. I was angry. She came in the house. I said, please come in and sit down. She sat on the sofa. And then I started to pray. I just said, okay, I don't want my anger to lead this conversation because that's not going to be helpful. Your words, not mine. So I don't remember the exact conversation, but I asked her, so you gave me your word? Yeah. And you didn't keep it?
Mm.
No. So is this who you really are? Or you, is this who you are? You're a liar? Is this who you want to be? She got real still. She said, no. I said, okay, what are you going to do about it? She said, I'm not going to lie again. I said, well, is that a promise you can keep, or is that just let's move on and get it over with kind of talk? She said, no, I'll keep it. I said, okay. And I did put a couple of limitations on her for a limited period of time. And I could feel when her body got still that it gobsmacked her. It was like, oh, I don't want to be known as a liar. I don't want to be a liar. Figure out another way to do it then, baby.
I had that exact same experience with my dad.
Seriously?
I lied about something and he picked me up. He was very calm and he just said, he's like, you lied to us. And he said, your word is your bond. That's all you have is your word. And if we can't trust your word, we can't trust you. And it just did the same thing to me. It was just like, I didn't lie after that. I'll tell you that. It worked. It was very powerful.
I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's very powerful.
I mean, we've been talking about that a lot recently.
Yeah.
Just like the importance of your word.
Yeah. It has stuck with me for so long that I do hold people to a standard sometimes of, I just feel like authenticity is being able to live by what you say. And I think there's a lot of people in the world right now who have a lot to say, but they don't live by what they say. They want to give the advice, but they don't want to take it.
Yeah.
And then you can't trust it.
And then you can't
Which
trust
is what
it.
you were saying.
Right.
Yeah. You're
Trust
like, I want to trust you. And trust is everything.
It's everything. And once it's lost, it just doesn't automatically come back online.
No.
It has to be earned back.
Consistently over time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
My next question, as we start to like wrap up a little bit, I would love to know, what's your vision for Moonlight and Wishes right now? Like, where do you want to take Moonlight and Wishes? What's the next step? What's your hope?
After my married, next month, I'm going to have a right knee replacement. So I'm going to be out of commission for a little bit. Then we're going to go on our honeymoon.
Where are you going on your honeymoon? Do you know?
Yes, I know what we're going to do. We're going to fly either to Oakland or San Francisco, pick up a car, drive to the wine country.
Nice.
Spend a little time there, drive up to Mount Shasta, spend a little time there, go up into Bend, Oregon.
Oh, beautiful.
And do a little wine tasting there, up into the Sammamish Valley in Washington.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Do a little wine tasting there, drive to Seattle, and then fly home.
Amazing.
And
I love
this
this.
is so us. I mean, this is, yeah.
I love that. Okay, sorry, continue the other answer. I just wanted to know where's Moonlight and Wishes going?
So my hope when all of this settles down, I want to take it to schools, libraries, bookstores, and read. Considering, a little nervous, this is vulnerable, learning to do keynote speaking.
Yes.
Let's go. You should.
Yes, absolutely.
You absolutely need to.
And talk to parents. AI is here, technology's here, but humans connecting with human is something we can't lose.
Yeah.
And books like mine that have the potential to bring families together in an imaginative, bigger way, and to come alongside and do that together and learn to believe in your dreams. And as in my book, Joey asks for a friend, which he gets, but not exactly as he asked for it. And sometimes the universe doesn't give us what we ask for exactly as we ask for it. And that's an important lesson to learn. He does get his dream answered, but not exactly as he asked for it. A little surprise in the end.
So good.
Surprises are the best.
So everyone needs
Yes.
to go get Moonlight and Wishes.
Yeah, definitely.
It sounds like it's not only just for children, but I think it's a beautiful reminder for even us as adults to read the book.
I've had people say that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the story would do so well for kids. I remember when you gifted us the book, I gave it to my niece and she loves it. So
Good. Yay.
it's such a gift to be able to do that. My next question I had for you was, so one question we ask all of our guests is, where in your life are you feeling called to be more fully expressed? This can be with life, love, or business.
Business, confidence, courage, strength. I have the belief in my book that's already been shown to me through many, many different venues and sources. But having the confidence to go out there and, quote, sell it in the world, really market it and make it happen. I've been doing that. But I'd really like somebody else to do it, then I could just go read.
You're like, I don't need to do it. I can hire someone to do it.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And like, these days today, like we talk about this so much, like people buy from you, right? They
Yeah.
buy your
Yeah, from your
energy.
energy.
And it's so important to get behind, if you want to, if you feel called to share your energy and step out into visibility and market it out there and talk about it consistently. And, whether it's directly selling it or just selling it by being you, because people really buy from you and they want to know you, the person who wrote the book, because that's the energy within the book.
That's what my daughter, who has her master's in public relations, said to me. Mom, you're the brand. The book is the product. And that's just like, oh, no. No.
But I think it's perfect because you're talking about how you've been able to step into your authentic self. So now
Fair.
you just bring you to the world.
Yeah. And you do it so beautifully.
Yeah.
Aw.
But I understand it's different when you feel it yourself.
Yeah.
And when you trust it yourself, that's different.
Yeah, that's my next piece of my journey.
So beautiful.
Well, we're holding the vision that you just expand
Yeah.
beyond more magic than you can even imagine.
Thank you so
And we're here to support you in any way.
Yeah.
I love that. I love you guys. Thank you.
We love
Thanks
you.
so much. This is just the best conversation.
I can't wait to re-listen to it.
Yeah. Guys, we've been trying to have this conversation for a while now. So
We
it was
have.
so kismet.
That's
it was
fair.
beautiful. Yeah. It was perfect. The year of the fire horse, like the energy is here. It's great. It was so divine. And I think cultivating presence right now is so important. And in the world we're moving into, it's so important. And you brought that today and it's really beautiful.
Thank you. There's so much conflict in the world, and there always has been. People, in my view, need to step back, take a deep breath, find the beauty around them, the beauty in their soul, the beauty
In each
in
other.
other people, yes,
Mhm.
in each other, and be present for that, be in that.
There's magic all around us.
Yes.
There
So
really
good.
is. I swear.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you both so much.
You're welcome.
I just feel this sisterly feel. Do you guys feel that?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We truly believe that the people that you attract, they're soulmates on a certain level, like our
I believe
souls
that too.
are 100%.
100%.
We were supposed to meet. All three of
Mhm.
us were supposed to
Absolutely.
meet.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Me too.
We hope you loved today's episode and that it sparked something in yourself on your journey to becoming more fully expressed.
Don't forget to check the show notes for all the details and resources from today's conversation. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review.
We'd love to hear your thoughts and takeaways as it really helps us to create better content that actually serves you.
This week, we invite you to show up even more as you, more honest, more real, more expressive in your life and business. And we'll see you on the next one.